This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Monday the 20th of August 2012. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, the announcement, an alien announcement from the Local Galactic Government. The Andromedians are heading our way to liberate the people of this planet from our controllers, the elite, and their proxy governments that are ultimately controlled from an evil alien race, the Draconians, whose only purpose here is to eradicate all life on our planet and strip the planet of all resources. Plus, now our scientists are coming round to the opinion our planet's axis has shifted by 90 degrees before. And finally, the informer takes you to a perfect survival location here in the UK. But first, let's go into this week's news. The following announcement by the Local Galactic Government, the Andromedians, I believe should be taken very seriously. As reported on YouTube channel Andromedians, the announcement states, "This is a small transmission of the Local Galactic Government, part of the wider Commonwealth of 13 galactic clusters. You can refer to us in one word, Andromedians. You may have heard of us from other sources, but allow us to establish one critical fact. During a galactic uprising that brought great destruction in 1/3 of this galaxy, certain groups of our Commonwealth joined forces with the Rebel Alliance. This alliance is led by the Draconian species, governed by a 24+3 council members under a high commander. This ruler goes by many names, most of which are recorded in your planet's history. Point being is that the rebel Andromedians have been acting as intermediaries between the Draconian Alliance and Earth governments, which they have come to control. Their goal is the enslavement of your planet, the extraction of its resources, and the complete extermination of all life. Then the Draconian fleet of 118 war planets, including its 2 flagships, will depart for a critical nerve node of the universal organism. We cannot and will not allow this to happen. Your enslavement has been orchestrated by an artificial race that many of you consider native to your planet. It is not. During your current state, you cannot enter a direct conflict with them. This is our duty. But what you can do is protect yourself and survive until we arrive. Operative warning is, death arises in the east, but the west has been infiltrated by eastern agents on all levels. Deal with those agents as we deal with the real threats. We have gathered an armada of 960 war planets in multiple dimensions, 340 of which are visible to you. We have been situated around and beyond the trajectory range of Saturn. Any species activity on the inside planets is considered hostile to you. We do not use channeling, we do not send messages to psychics. We only transmit through strict medium of neutrino beams. The clear reason is that your oppressors do not have access to this technology. Beware of what you call false flag operations. Earth will be invaded by the Draconian Alliance, posing to be us. This will include atrocities in order to condition humanity against us, and to unite you under a world government. Your Illuminati New World Order is but a predecessor of an even more cruel order that is orchestrated by the Draconians' artificial race. The enemy on-world and off-world has rejected our terms of surrender. We will intervene in mass and overwhelming force. Our 5th and 6th dimension forces have arrived at your planet. As they cannot be traced or inhibited by the Draconian Alliance. We consider your own dimension being the first in terms of density. Translated to your terms, you are third dimension, and the enemy exists up to the fifth dimension. We have forces up to the ninth. Once we secure that all the nuclear weapons that have been planted within the Earth's crust in order to destabilize the planets have been neutralized, we will invade. When your rapid eye movements during your sleep cease to produce erratic dreams and nightmares, know that the enemy's flagships have fallen. A flagship we call Leven, a flagship you call the Moon. Our true arrival will be signaled by one major event: the extermination of all planetary governments, especially those who have aligned themselves with the eruption of the up-and-coming World War. Until then, everything else is a lie. You were once citizens of the Galactic Commonwealth. You were invaded and enslaved. We received your distress call, and we have sealed the entrance and exits of this solar system. Negotiations with the Draconian Alliance have failed. We are on our way. As reported on YouTube channel Andromedians, the link is now available on my website endtimes23.com. Now, an informer statement on the alien announcements. I believe if this announcement turns out to be correct, then this will be an earth changer that the people of our planet have been praying for. Our controlling elite and their alien backers, the Greys, are the artificial aliens that were sent to the Earth many decades ago by the Draconian Alliance, as part of their master plan to enslave the people of our planet and eliminate all life forms of our planet in time. Once this had been achieved, the Earth would be stripped bare of all its resources. The Greys were programmed to lie to the United States government in the 50s, and President Eisenhower fell into that trap and aligned the United States with this evil alien race by signing an agreement for advanced alien technology, while all the time their plan to enslave us all went on unabated. They are now controlling the US shadow government and are responsible for many wars and chemtrailing the skies as part of their plan to extinguish all life forms on this planet of ours. I ask you all to support our alien friends from the Galactic Local Government, the Andromedians. They are our only hope to rid the planet of the Greys' artificial race and their masters, the Draconians. Also, the many controlled governments around the planet that are aligned and controlled by the Draconian Alliance. We are fighting for our freedom from the enslavement and our lives. May God and our alien friends, the Andromedians, help us, and I'm sure they will be welcomed with open arms of friendship when they arrive. End of statement. The following info was reported on YouTube channel Signs of Thy Coming on 7th of August 2012. Evacuation of coastal bases on the 3rd of August 2012. Footage of massive tank transportation moving across Burbank, California. This, I believe, is being carried out for the arrival of the planet-sized objects and the massive coastal flooding anticipated to occur between the 17th of August and the 26th of September 2012. My friends, be prepared to move to high ground between these dates. 17th of August 2012, as reported on YouTube channel Andromedians777. More footage of second suns being filmed from Italy to China as Nibiru is mentioned on Italian TV. August the 6th, 2012, as reported on www.examiner.com, Curiosity rover successfully lands on Mars, and first 50s-like images of the Martian soil and Curiosity's feet sent back for the gullible masses to see. What a laugh, our controllers must be getting a kick out of all this. Their shadow government in the United States landed on Mars in the 1960s, and Obama went to Mars via jump room technology in the 1980s. They must think we are all idiots. The links are available to view on my website, ntimes23.com. August the 9th, 2012, at www.earthchangesmedia.com reports that magnetic pole reversal and possible crust displacements have occurred before. There is still strong debate if Earth has experienced a severe tilt in the past, perhaps up to 90 degrees, which goes far beyond a better-known tilt called Earth's precession, sometimes referred to as precession of the equinox, lunar solar precession, or precession of the equinox, identify the rotation of the Earth's axis, which shifted between a tilt of 22.1 and 24.5 and back again, taking approximately 41,000 years to complete a full rotation. Scientists have found evidence that the Earth actually rolls several degrees in the past, completely shifting continents, i.e. Canada in the southern hemisphere. The full transcript link can be found on my website, ntimes23.com. August the 7th, 2012, as reported on www.thetruthseeker.co.uk, titled US Convinced Israel is Set to Pounce on Iran. Channel 2 veteran Middle East analyst Edward Yahouri, who is back from a trip to the US, said Friday night that an Israel attack on Iran can be expected in October. I will give you an impression, he told anchorman Danny Kishmaro on Channel 2 TV, Open Shashi. This is just an impression, but a strong impression. After conversations with the people one needs to talk with about this matter, my impression is that Americans are convinced that there is a very high chance that Israel will decide to attack Iran before the elections in the US. The full transcript link is also available on my website, ntimes23.com. And finally, I've been checking out some survival locations here in the UK in the past week, accompanied by my cousin Bill. We travelled to the Peak District, Buxton, Matlock and Castleton. But to kick off this week, I'm taking you to Castleton, an amazing area located well above sea level. We hiked to around 1,000 feet above sea level and filmed some amazing scenery. We also located a cave, but it was barred off. You'll also hear the air gushing within the cave itself. This area meets all the criteria for a perfect survival location.
I suppose it's just to look at what you hit, isn't it?
It is, yeah, absolutely.
You're doing it in style.
Mind you, if you hit it enough times, you're bound to find something. Law of averages says you can find something.
Yeah. There's plenty of bits about, isn't there? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. And then have it back again. Take it that. So,
now this is interesting. We just found it's a sealed up cave entrance. It goes right. Whoa! Nearly went. It says danger of death. It must be a hell of a way down, I tell you. It's taking all my breath because the air's quite thin here, and I'm absolutely out of breath and knackered. But you can hear the sound of the air. Good stuff, eh? Good stuff. All brought to you by the Informer. Wild Bill, they call him here, where he originates from. Now he's a dalesman. He knows how high he estimates that we are. So how high do you think we are, Bill? from on sea level, above sea level.
It is 1,000.
So
It's 7 now.
you've heard it now from the man himself who's experienced. He believes we're 1,000 feet above sea level, and it's actually starting to blooming rain, would you believe? And we've got no coats with us, so we're absolutely going to get soaked. So thank you. This is what you get by being a roving reporter, isn't it? Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. We'll come back up again in a little while, hopefully, if it stops raining. Now this is just to show you how far we've come. I don't know if you can make it out, but I'll try and zoom it right in for you. But you can see down there's a little dot of people coming up. Can you see them? We've come all that way, so I'll zoom out now. As you can see, zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. You can see how far we've come. Anyway, good stuff, good stuff.
Okay my friends, you're all invited to join this channel by subscribing to End Times 23, which is a totally free subscription service. You're also invited to add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Both the links are under this video my friends. All this week's news links can be found on my website endtimes23.com. The link is under this video. Just click on the link and go to the top left hand corner of the opening page and click on Informer News Links. You will find all this week's news links at the top of the page under this week's titled video. Well, that's your lot for this week, my friends. I'll be back in a week's time. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. And until then, this is your informer signing off. Friends, I'll see you on the flip side. In one word, Andromedians. You may have heard of us from other sources, but allow us to establish one critical fact. During a galactic uprising that brought great destruction in 1/3 of this galaxy, certain groups of our Commonwealth joined forces with the Rebel Alliance. This alliance is led by the Draconian species, governed by a 24+3 council members under a high commander. This ruler goes by many names, most of which are recorded in your planet's history. Point being is that the rebel Andromedians have been acting as intermediaries between the Draconian Alliance and Earth governments, which they have come to control. Their goal is the enslavement of your planet, the extraction of its resources, and the complete extermination of all life. Then the Draconian fleet of 118 war planets, including its 2 flagships, will depart for a critical nerve node. Coming up in this week's broadcast, the announcement, an alien announcement from the local galactic government. The Andromedians are heading our way to liberate the people of this planet from our controllers, the elite, and their proxy governments that are ultimately controlled from an evil alien race, the Draconians, whose only purpose here is to eradicate all life on our planet and strip the planet of all resources. Plus, now our scientists are coming round to the opinion our planet's axis has shifted by 90 degrees before. This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Monday the 20th of August 2012. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. And finally, the Informer takes you to a perfect survival location here in the UK. But first, let's go into this week's news. The following announcements by the Local Galactic Government, the Andromedians, I believe should be taken very seriously. As reported on YouTube channel Andromedians, the announcement states, "This is a small transmission of the Local Galactic Government, part of the wider Commonwealth of 13 galactic clusters. You can refer to us